There's a big development in the Gabby Petito homicide case today. There have been actually a number of smaller developments as I posted an update video about this story. During a press conference today, Dr. Brent Blue, Teton County, Wyoming coroner, announced that Gabby Petito was killed by strangulation. They had already previously announced that she was killed, that it was a homicide. It was not a suicide or accidental death, but that it was not natural causes. It was in fact a homicide, while they announced today that it was caused by strangulation. Blue noted that Wyoming law prevents them from disclosing most details of autopsies, but he did say that Gabby Petito's body was left in the wilderness for a period of 3 to 4 weeks before it was discovered. He also acknowledged that a careful forensic investigation was completed, which is part of why it took so long for them to be able to announce that it was strangulation was the cause of death. Part of that was bringing in outside experts. They also collected DNA samples from her body and also waited for the results of toxicology testing before making this announcement today. And some of the other details that have been going on lately with this story, since I posted an update last, rumors have been circulating online that Brian Laundrie had flown home to Florida from Utah in the days following the domestic violence incident in Moab. A lot of people had mentioned that in the comments, and I replied to many and said, I've heard that, but I haven't seen it confirmed in any way that I'm comfortable reporting on at that time. And of course, the FBI was involved at that point, so the FBI is not talking. Brian Laundrie's not talking. The Laundrie family's not talking. So there really wasn't any way to get confirmation of that for a period of time. However, Brian's sister and the Laundrie's lawyer have now both confirmed that Brian did indeed fly back to Florida, allegedly to close out a storage shed that he and Gabby had shared in Florida. Brian flew to Florida on August 17th and returned to Salt Lake City, Utah on August 23rd. So those rumors turned out to be correct. It does add some strange questions around the whole situation. Other details include Brian Laundrie's parents reported him missing on September 17th, just 2 days before Gabby's body was found in the Wyoming wilderness. At the time, Brian's parents claimed that he left the house on September 14 to go hiking in a nearby nature preserve/swamp. Last week, the Laundrie's attorney revealed that Brian actually left to allegedly hike in a swamp on September 13th instead of September 14th. So I don't think anybody in the country believes this. I mean, he may have left on the 13th. I don't know what day. What I'm saying is, as far as the changing stories, they report him on the 17th missing. He's been gone 3 days. He left on a Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. Now, sometime later, all this investigation going on. Oh, wait, no, we made a mistake. He left on the 13th. Nobody with a right mind believes that your son goes missing and you report him missing and you don't even know what day he's gone. He lived there. There's no way they didn't know what day, and that something's really fishy with that whole development. Last week, Brian's father joined police briefly in the search for Brian in the Carlton Reserve. According to the Laundrie's attorney, this was at the request of law enforcement. Northport Police Department promptly announced that they had not requested his assistance. The Laundrie's lawyer then claimed it was the FBI that had requested his assistance. Of course, their lawyer is well aware the FBI refuses to comment on the investigation, so we have to trust the lawyer that the FBI asked Brian's father to join the search rather than the family initiating it as a PR stunt. 2 celebrity fugitive hunters have joined the search for Brian Laundrie, Dog the Bounty Hunter and John Walsh. Their involvement has prompted thousands of additional leads. A lot of people have questioned why was Brian not in custody all this time, or the minimum, if he wasn't in custody, why wasn't he under surveillance? Why did Northport PD, who kept claiming they knew exactly where he was, allow him to go into hiding and evade authorities and evade arrest now? While Florida Sheriff Grady Judd has gone on the record that were Brian Laundrie residing in Polk County, the situation would have been handled differently. Asked about the case during a press conference recently, Judd said, "I can tell you at this sheriff's office, when he showed up with her car and she was no place to be found, we never would have let him out of our custody that day. Other than that, I'm not sure where their investigation is." All right, I'll make a few predictions here. I'll tell you what I think. This is purely my opinion. First of all, homicide charges will be filed against Brian Laundrie imminently. Law enforcement already knew about the cause of death. This is not a surprise to them. Given the situation, they already have a federal felony warrant out for him, and the autopsy results had not been publicly released at that. I can see why they may not have acted on it yet, but I think now they will be acting on that. If charges are not announced very quickly, I believe it's going to be because of a strategic decision by prosecutors to, this becomes a speedy trial thing. So if they have charges for him out for homicide, and then they do pick him up, there starts the speedy trial rule, and as they may want more time to complete their investigation before they have to go into trial. So that's the only reason I can see why they wouldn't file charges just about immediately at this point. But I do believe charges will be forthcoming regardless. Okay, my second prediction, Brian Laundrie is not and never was hiding in the Carlton reserves. Now, it's possible he went there and dumped evidence. It's possible he drove a car there or coordinated with someone else to drop the car there to plant a false flag, to sow confusion and buy himself time. I don't think he ever was hiding in the reserve. I have no idea what the police are still searching for at this point, but it's possible, of course, that they have additional evidence that leads them to believe he was there at some time. I just can't believe he was actually attempting to hide there for real. I don't think that is how he would have. I don't think that's what happened. As far as why they're still searching, I don't know. Third prediction, Brian Laundrie may have used Fort DeSoto Park as an escape point. It's possible that he went into hiding earlier than his parents have acknowledged. I mean, they've already changed the dates on their story on when he disappeared or when they, so I don't think it'd be a surprise to anybody if he did use Fort DeSoto Park as an escape point. I don't think he stayed there long, is my guess, but he may have used it as a launch point to go into hiding. And fourth prediction, if I had to guess, the Appalachian Trail is a far more likely location for Brian Laundrie to be hiding. He has hiked there before, spent several months on there, so it's a more familiar location. With the differences in elevation and things you can get up and down is going to be a little more tolerable this time of year when it's really hot in Florida or Georgia still, but it's going to be getting cold in the higher elevations. I think it gives him more flexibility to try and hide, and he does have some familiarity with it, so I think that's a more likely scenario. There also have, of course, been multiple reports of possible sightings of Brian Laundrie along the Appalachian Trail area. This has been a tragic and bizarre story since the first headlines that reported Brian Laundrie arrived back in Florida in Gabby's van without her and refused to talk to police or her family. My sincerest condolences to the entire Petito family. I cannot even imagine what they are going through. This has been just a disaster. Just a disaster from day one. I hope that justice is served in this case, and quickly. Thanks for joining me for this video, everyone. We'll catch you in the next one.